Hey everybody, this is Dana with another Tutorial Tuesday. Now I promised you guys I would do this video. We're talking about how to read patterns today. Now again, like I said before in the intro, we may have learned how to read patterns in different ways, or we may have even taught ourselves how to crochet in different ways. But today, if you want to become a pattern writer and a designer, you want to learn how to read patterns. Now this is very important because reading patterns will help you not just be able to create patterns, read them, but you'll also be able to create revenue for yourself, because as we all know, when we become designers and we want to create different patterns, many people want us to create the patterns and they want to buy them from us. And that's another revenue for us to come in, where we can sell patterns as well as our finished products. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what I like to do when it comes to reading patterns. I want to share with you some of the tips and tricks, and then we'll work on a pattern. So I hope you guys were able to download this pattern that I put in the description box. It's by Red Heart, and it's also by the designer Eddie Ekman. So thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Red Heart, for this awesome pattern. We're going to work on it today. It's very simple. Now the pattern did call for a striped yarn, and I'm not even sure if it's even a yarn anymore. It may be to get it at Michael's or Joann's. Now don't fret, that's not the yarn we have to use. Just grab a worsted weight yarn, guys. It doesn't have to be exactly what the pattern says. We just need a worsted weight size 4 yarn. Today I'm going to be working with Mainstay. Again, I have lots of it on hand, and I like to use it for certain tutorials and different things. And since we're still doing our Hat and I Hate campaign, I decided why not go ahead and work on it with this. And if you can tell, this is the same exact yarn that I worked on for my sweater. Now this is called the Sailor Moon crop sweater. I didn't make it waist length or hip length, so it's not a crop for me. But I love the collar. I fell in love with it, even though mine is a little bit wanky and wonky right now. Probably going to go ahead and button it up and get it all set, but don't mind me. I wanted to go ahead and get this set up. Tonight is bowling night. We're at the bowling alley tonight. So if you're hearing noises, if you get some hearing or some people walking in on me, don't worry, because I'm hiding out in the bathroom right now while my husband finishes his last game. But out of love for you all, I wanted to create this awesome tutorial. And I have to give big shouts out to my awesome friend, Manda. Manda is an awesome creator and a crafter. She crochets beautiful work, and she wanted me to do this tutorial for you all today. So thanks, Manda, for the awesome idea. Again, if you have any ideas of what you want me to create, to bring forth on a tutorial, please let me know. I know I don't do them all the time just because of my schedule, and sometimes it's hard for me to just hop up when I'm doing so many things. But my goal is to give you guys what you want, so that way I can give you content, and this channel can actually be something that people would like to watch. So thank you so much again, Manda, and thank you all who are watching, who are subscribing. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, and also hit the thumbs up button. And also, if you want to share it with friends or in any of your groups, please do that as well. Again, hit that notification bell to let you know when I'm doing more videos. So I have lots of other videos coming out that I haven't been telling you about, that just haven't came out yet, but they are coming. So be ready for those, guys. Some really awesome videos. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I just hope you guys got everything that was on this list. Some things that were not on the list was a measuring tape. Now I do want to say, let's grab a measuring tape, because we'll be working on the gauge today. Now a gauge is something that you'll be doing in order to create and make sure your sizing is going to be just like the designer sizing is. Now sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, you create something, and even if you are a reader, a pattern reader, or if you're doing a tutorial on YouTube, they may do something and it might not be exactly the same fit as they said it would be, just because your crocheting is different. Someone on YouTube or someone that created this pattern may have a tighter tension. They may have a looser tension. So creating the gauge will let you know if you need to move up a hook size or move down a hook size, or just stay where you're at. Luckily for me, I really do pretty well with my gauge. I don't know why, but for the most part, I've only had maybe 1 or 2 designers who crochet tighter than me. And so I ended up having to change hook sizes. But let's go ahead and get started. For me, I have my 5.5 millimeter hook. I have my worsted weight, like I told you guys before. I also have a pair of scissors, and I have a yarn needle somewhere that I have to grab when I find it. But so let's go ahead and get started with this awesome pattern. I'm going to go ahead and change this camera position, so we'll get started with that. You'll see my hands moving, and then if you have any comments or anything in the bottom section below, please comment. I was going to do a live, but I just didn't want to risk my husband leaving me tonight, and I didn't want to be in the middle of the live and it was time to go. So I wanted to get started on this video for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Grab all your items, guys. Let's have a good time. Let's learn how to read patterns. Now this is just for basic patterns right now, guys. We can eventually move up and do harder patterns too, but right now we're going to go ahead and work on the basic patterns. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start with our gauge. Now our gauge says it should be 11 double crochets should equal 11 double crochets should equal 4 inches. Now it doesn't say double crochets, it actually says DC. Now the letters DC actually stand for double crochet. If you're not familiar with a double crochet, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and chain a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, let's do 8, 7, and 8. Okay, so with a double crochet, when you're usually starting off like this, to say you're making a scarf or something, or just a swatch, you'll always double crochet in the 4th chain from hook. So you'll do 1, 2, 3, and this is our 4th one. So we're going to just double crochet right in there. And when we double crochet, what you're going to do is wrap around your yarn once, which is called a yarn over. Then you're going to insert your hook into that very 4th chain. Then you're going to yarn over again. Then you're going to pull through 1, which leaves 3 loops. You're going to yarn over, which makes 4 loops, and you're going to draw through 2, leaving 2, and you're going to yarn over again and draw through, creating another, and draw through both of these, and you're going to leave 1 loop, and that is a double crochet, guys. So if you want to do that again, you just yarn over, you'll insert, sorry guys, it's kind of going in and out of focus, sorry about that. I believe my camera is doing some movement, or my tripod is moving. Okay, so we'll do a yarn over again, and sorry about that, my hook is turned opposite. We're going to yarn over, we're going to insert into our next chain, okay, then we're going to have 3 loops, so we'll yarn over again, pull through 1, yarn over again, pull through 2, yarn over again, and pull through the last 2. So these are double crochets, guys. So we'll yarn over again, insert, and we'll yarn over again, pull through 1, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 3, draw through 2 again, and then we'll have 1 left. So these are a few double crochets that I've created. Now I'm going to take this down, guys, because I just wanted to share with you how to do the double crochet. Now if I did go too fast, I'm very sorry, but feel free to rewind it, stop it, and pause it. So again, I'm going to go ahead and start our gauge. So for our gauge, let's go ahead and chain a chain of 15. So 2, 3, all right. So I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see. So what do I have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have 15, guys. Alrighty, guys. So now we should have our 15 stitches. So what we're going to do is work our gauge, and we're going to do what I did before, and we're going to double crochet in our 4th chain from our hook. So let's go ahead and double crochet in our 4th chain from hook, guys, and we're going to double crochet in each chain across. So again, when I crochet, I do like to crochet my chain a little loose. For some reason, for my tutorial, I decided to crochet a little snug. But yes, definitely crochet your chain a little loose. It doesn't have to be extremely loose, but just crochet it loose enough that your hook can actually be inserted into your chains. You don't want to be struggling like I am right now to get through them. So I'm just whipping these up really quickly, guys, because I just want to work on our gauge. This is not our hat pattern yet. This is just a gauge, and we have to have this to make sure it's going to be fitting right. This hat is going to be about 21 inches, so this is going to be probably child size, or unless you have a smaller head. My head is usually about a 23, so this can be like a small, like a child size, I believe. But if you do have a smaller head, like I said before, this may be for you. And this is not just the average, you know, hats can vary in size. This is just a basic hat pattern that I found, and I figured it would be great to start reading patterns with. So here we go, guys. We have 2, if we count our chain 3, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Don't mind my little nail here that I bit off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and measure this. Now we're going to measure across 11 stitches. So I won't measure these ending ones because I just won't. So usually when you measure, you want to measure kind of like your center one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll start here, and I'll see if I have 4 inches. Okay, so for me, I have 3 inches. I have 3 inches for 11 stitches. So I must have to go up a hook size. So, all right, everybody, like I was saying before, I had to go up a hook size. So I ended up going up to a 6mm hook. If I can focus it in for you guys, let me see. I'm going up to a 6mm hook because before I had 3 inches, now I'm at my 4 inches that I need to be. So I'll be working with the 6.mm. Now if you double crochet and you chain and you measure your 15 stitches that we just crocheted, or your chain that we just crocheted, guys, and you end up with the same problem I had, try a 6mm hook and see if that helps. If not, you may have to go up more to a 6.5. So just work and figure out what works for you. Now, if you're with me still, let's keep going. If you're not, just go ahead and push pause and then go ahead and get started, or push pause and work your gauge again, and then you'll be ready for your pattern after that. So let's go ahead and get started. The reason I said let's do the gauge is just because I used to pay for it when I didn't do it, and I usually like to do it, and I wasn't going to do it, but I said let's get this done and let's do it the right way. So one thing that we need to learn when we're doing reading patterns are abbreviations that are involved. If you scroll down the bottom of this pattern, there are abbreviations that are included in this pattern. So you'll be able to see what they mean when they say these things. There's all the definitions there. There's all the abbreviations for this. So what I want to say is the first one that we're introduced to in this pattern is actually DC, and that means double crochet. So the first line of this pattern says CH.4. Now the CH stands for chain. If you crochet, we all know that most work begins with a chain. So next it says join with a slip ST. Now that ST stands for stitch. So if we chain 4, then we join with a slip stitch, we are going to form a ring. So we're going to go ahead and begin. So we're going to start with our chain 4. Sorry guys. My tripod is on its last leg. Literally. So let's go ahead and chain 1, 2, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me move my yarn out of the way and this little sunflower seed. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now we're just going to join with a slip stitch right to our first chain that we created. Okay, so we're going to just join. When we're doing a slip stitch, you don't yarn over first. You're just going to slip right into that first chain, and then you're going to yarn over once you do that, and then you're just going to slide it right through both of those, and now you have a ring. It's a fairly small ring, but you want a smaller ring when you're making a hat. You really don't want a big hole unless you're making a messy bun beanie. So now it says that, but I'm going to go ahead and do something else. What's going to happen is it says for round 1, you're going to chain 3, okay? So we're going to just go ahead and chain 3. So we're going to do 1, we're going to do 2, and we're going to do 3. So it says this counts as a double crochet throughout. So when they say a double crochet throughout, this chain 3 is going to be one of your double crochets. So remember to count this. Do not exclude this from your pattern. This is going to be one of your double crochets. So it says work 11 double crochets in your ring, and then you're going to slip stitch. So let's go ahead and do 11 more. So we're going to go right inside of this hole. The hole is small, guys, so you're going to kind of keep it opened, and you're just going to work it. So we're just going to do 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And then let me count these before I get started, before I join it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now we're just going to slip stitch into the top of our chain 3. So we're usually going to be right in that top part, and we're just going to go right inside, and we're going to yarn over and slip stitch. So now we have our 12 double crochets, and this is going to be the top part of our hat. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to do an increase round. Okay, what I like about this pattern, it tells us how many stitches are at every how many stitches are at the bottom of every, should be there for every row. Okay, so row 2 says chain 3. So again, we're chaining 3 again, guys. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Okay, so what it says is you're going to double crochet in the same stitch. So remember that our chain 3 is a stitch. So right here, right where we're chain 3 at and right where we joined at, there's a small space there. We're going to just double crochet right in that same space as a chain 3. So we're going to create 2. That's 1. So now we have 2 doubles there. So next we're going to go into our next double crochet, and we're going to do 2 doubles there. At the end of this round, it says we should have 24. So we're just doubling these. We're going to every stitch and we're putting 2 in them. Okay, I want to make it a little bit where you can see it a little bit, where it's not too close. Okay, so we can see where we're at, and we're just going through right around, guys, and we're just adding 2 to every stitch. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit what it looks like up close. There's 2 in that one. We have 2 in that one. They should look like little V's all around, guys, just because you're putting 2 into each one. So we're just going through, and we should have 24 stitches after we're done with this. This pattern is really easy. I find a lot of red heart patterns really easy, especially if you're just a beginner pattern reader. And then you can advance a little bit more to other designers. But definitely red heart gives a lot of explanation, measurements, and I love how they let you know how many rows or how many stitches you have at the end of each row. Okay, and again, you may not have to go up at a hook size, but this yarn sometimes it seems like it could be a little thinner. I know if I was working with Red Heart Super Saver in black, it would probably be perfect because that yarn is a little bit thicker, a little more coarse. Okay, so I've just finished up my stitches. I'm going to go ahead and give them a count because I still count. Even though I'm an advanced crocheter, I find that Sometimes when I don't count, I end up skipping some stuff and I kind of mess up. So let's go ahead and count. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. So we're just going to go ahead and join. This pattern is really, really super simple, guys. So we're going to take a small break. If you want to keep going, if you feel like you're getting it, go ahead and keep going if you want. But for everyone else, I still want to show a little bit more about pattern reading because this is what this video is about. So we're going to talk about a few abbreviations. And I wrote down a couple notes. Now for this pattern, there are notes at the bottom as well for the ones that are for the abbreviations that are involved in this pattern. But I wrote down a couple notes really quickly. So SC equals single crochet. HDC is half double crochet. DC is double crochet. You can have either TRC, TC, or TR for triple or treble crochet. SK is skip. INC is usually an increase, which means you're putting multiple stitches in one. Just like we did before, we just did that in row 2. We actually just put 2 stitches in one. And now decrease is actually where you're putting multiple stitches together. We haven't did that yet, so you don't have to worry about that, but those are some things you may come across when you begin to read patterns. Next we have slip stitch, which is abbreviated by SLP, ST. Another one we have is BLO, and those are usually capital, and it means back loop only. And those is basically, I don't want to confuse anyone, so please don't pay attention. I hope you guys do not, we're not working with this stitch today, or we're not working with actually BLO today, but I want to share with you. When you're doing your crochet, there's loops here. Please focus. Okay, I had to pull it away a little bit, guys. So there's 2 loops. There's one here in the front. There's one back here in the back. Now when your pattern says front loop, you're going to just work in the one here in the front. If your pattern says back loop only, you're going to work in the one in the back. And so that's what they mean when they say front loop only or back loop only. That's the definition for it, and that is the abbreviation for it. So we're not working with those today, guys, but I just wanted to give you some heads up on what they mean. And also there's other books and things like that that can give you a lot of more detail, or you can look it up online and have your cheat sheet handy. I like to kind of write my things down. I have a little booklet for them. As you crochet, you'll begin to know what works best for you. So again, the next one is DC2TOG. Now that stands for double crochet 2 together. Now that's going to be the same thing as decreasing. So you're basically going to be double crocheting 2 together to create one. So it even can work sometimes if you messed up on something and at the end of the pattern it says you should have 15 stitches and you should really, but you have 16, you can end up double crocheting 2 together at the end. But that's just as you get, a little bit more deeper into crocheting, and you don't want to go back and it's just something for you and you just like, oh my gosh, how did I get extra? And you just want to just do that. Whatever happens, you can do that, or you'll find ways to play around with crocheting. But that's a way you can do it. There's another one where it says SC2TOG. That's the same thing. It's single crocheting 2 together. HDC2TOG is half doubling crochet. You're half double crochet 2 together. And then you have the TRC 2 together, which is going to basically be a triple or a treble crochet 2 together. SP stands for the word space. FSC stands for foundation single crochet. That's another way to crochet without starting a chain. Those are a little bit more advanced, guys. So for those who are advanced, you can definitely look up YouTube tutorials about them and they'll show you how to do those. SM is for stitch marker. When you're working with certain pieces and garments, you'll need stitch markers, or if you're not joining like we're doing today, you'll need a stitch marker. RS is right side. WS is wrong side. So there's 2 sides of your work. So if we're working on this right now, we'll notice this is the neater, nicer side. This is our right side. If we turn it over, it looks kind of like the inside of our shirts, and this is like the outside of them. So we'll know this is the wrong side. This is the right side. YO means yarn over. Okay? Let me see. Okay. So I have some other ones that are written down. BEG is beginning. REP is repeat. Then you'll see brackets, or you may see parentheses in a pattern. This means you're going to work instructions within brackets as many times as directed. Now, if you see an asterisk, you're going to repeat the instructions following the asterisk as directed. Now, if you see two asterisks, now that's where we're going to be seeing today in this pattern. So listen to this one carefully. Repeat your instructions between your asterisk. Sorry, as you can see, I didn't cross my T here. So that is not between. That is actually supposed to be the word between. So let me go ahead and correct that now for those who are going to be watching this video. Yes, but we're going to be, we're going to be repeating instructions between asterisks as many times as directed, or repeat from a given set of instructions, okay? So that's what we're doing today. These abbreviations are for the basic stitches. There are more abbreviations, but they are usually included in the pattern that you're reading. Okay, so if you're doing something a little bit more intricate, usually they give you the instructions or the abbreviations for the actual stitch right in that pattern. So do not fret, do not get discouraged. And if you still don't understand it, there are multiple videos and other tutorials, as well as instructions online for these. Or if you can be like me, you can get these different, you can get different pattern books and stitch books. And we'll be talking about that soon, because I'll be actually showing you some of my stitch books, and we can actually work on different stitches. So we're going to be doing row 3 now. So we've done row 1 and we've done row 2, and now we should be with 24 stitches. So let's get back to row 3. So with row 3, we're going to go ahead and chain 3. Now remember, this is super simple, guys. Chain 3 is our first double crochet. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 double crochets in our next stitch. Last row, what we did was we worked in that same space. This time we're going to skip this same space, and we're going to start in our second double crochet. So we're just going to do 2 of those right in the second double crochet. So again, we're going to do an increase here. Okay, this is what you call creating the crown of your hat. So we have 1 and then 2, and then we're going to do, the pattern says now we're going to do a double crochet in the next double crochet. So we're just going to do 1 in this one. Okay, so here we go with 1. Now here comes the asterisk. So what we're going to do next is 2 doubles in the next one. Okay, so what we're going to do, we did 2, we did that 1. So the asterisk, we already did the asterisk already. Sorry guys, I skipped my notes here. So the asterisk says, what does it say? The asterisk says double crochet in the next double, 2 in the next double. So that's what we're going to be doing around. So we're going to repeat that. So we're doing our first double here, and then we're going to go 2 in the next. And we're just doing that all the way around, guys. Okay, so 2 there. Our next one is going to be 1. Okay, our next one should be 2. Our next one should be 1. Our next one should be 2. So we're just going to repeat that completely all the way around, guys. And at the end, we should have 36 stitches. So I'm just going to whip these right on up, guys. I love how simple this pattern is, just because once you get done with row 5, you're done with these increases, guys. So it makes it really fun. Okay, so that's 1. That's, oops, sorry guys. That's 2. 1. and then that's 2, 1, and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay. So for the most part, we are ending with 2 stitches on our increase round. So that's how a lot of times you'll know if you're doing it right. You should end with 2 stitches. So let's go ahead and count them again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, and 36. So we're there with 36, guys, and we're just going to join with our slip stitch right into the top of that chain 3 right here. And we're going to just slip stitch right in there. Oh, sorry, I yarn. I don't know what I have some extra yarn. Okay, so we're just going to join and slip stitch. Super simple. Now we're on to row 4. Now row 4 says we're just going to chain 3, then we're going to double crochet in the next, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 2. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Now it's going to do, we're going to do a double crochet in the next one, not that same one. This is the next one, guys. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 in the next. So that's basically increasing in the 3rd stitch. Okay, because we're creating 2 in the next stitch. So we should have 1, 2, increase, right? 1, 2, increase. Okay, so let's do it again. So we'll do 1, double, we'll do another double, and then we'll increase. Okay, so that's creating 2 doubles. All right, so in the first one we'll do 1 double, we'll do 1 more double in the next, and the 3rd one we'll do 2 doubles. Okay, this is 1 double, this is 2 doubles, and this is a double in the next. Okay, so this is what we look like so far, guys. Now when I come back, we'll finish this up. We should have a total of 48 stitches, guys. So when I get back, we'll go on to row 5. Alright, guys, I'm back and I have my 48 stitches. So we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch and join. We are getting this thing done. I told you guys, reading patterns is not extremely hard, guys. This is one of the simpler ones, I know. But if you guys are ready to go on to the next level after this, we can start working on garments. Let me know what you want to do next. First, we're going to start this hat. Now, if you did like me, you did a blue hat, you can donate this to Hat Not Hate, and we can create more hats as well. But if you're ready to start doing some garments, you're ready for a different type of hat, a sweater, a scarf, whatever you want to do. If you want some more intricate stitches, let me know. Let's have some fun. Let's start breaking down patterns and let's start understanding them a little bit more and interpreting them more. That way you can start creating your own. So let's go ahead and do row 5. Now this is our last increase row, guys, so you don't have to worry about all the math and all the counting and all that good stuff. This will be a little bit more easier. Well, if you want, you still can count your rows at the end, just because you want to make sure you didn't skip any stitches or add any stitches, but you don't have to add any more in-betweens and do any of the increasing that's involved. So let's go ahead and start with a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet in the next 4. So we're going to not double crochet in that same space, but the next one. Sometimes it's a little tricky because they're so close. Those first 2 stitches seem a little close to me always. But we're going to just double crochet in the next 4. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that is 4. So now we have a total of 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to increase. So that means putting 2 double crochets in that same space. So after we do a total of 5, we're just going to be doing an increase. So let's go ahead and do another 5. That's going to be 1, 2, I'm going to pull a little bit of yarn from you guys because I need it. And believe it or not, guys, I'm standing up right now. I've been standing up this whole tutorial. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is a double. Okay? And the great thing about this pattern, when you're doing these increases right, you'll notice the V's are going to go all the way down and match up. So you have a V stitch here, a V stitch here, V, V, and V. For those who are wondering, like, how do I know if I'm doing this right? Usually your V stitches are going to match up, especially when you're doing hats. Other patterns, they may have you alternating and doing other things, which we'll talk about later. We won't get confused today. But usually when you're doing something like this hat, you'll notice that your V's are going to line up and show that you're doing the right things. So we have that. Let's go ahead and do another 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what did I got? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I take that back. For this particular pattern, they want us to do a different increase for this 5th round. So the first 4 rounds, the V stitches should match up, but the 5th round, they will not all match up because we're doing something different. If you notice, the first time we increased every stitch, then we did every other stitch, and then we did every 2 stitches. This one, or every 3rd stitch we increased. Now this one, instead of us increasing every 4th stitch, we're increasing like every 6th stitch, so we skipped a couple stitches. So the V's will not line up for this 5th stitch. Do not get discouraged. As long as you have 56 stitches at the end of your under your row or your round, you'll be fine. So do not get discouraged, guys. And I forgot to say that this is actually considered a round because we're going in a circle. Where you're going in rows, you're usually going back and forth. So this is what you call a round. So we're on round 5 right now. I just did 4. I need 1 more. And then I'll do an increase. Okay, and then I'll do 5 more. Down goes Fraser. Every time I do tutorials, guys, I know. You guys are like, what are you doing? I know. Every time I do tutorials, it's always some weird place or a weird situation that's going on. But it's all good. It's out of love. I'm at the bowling alley in the bathroom doing a tutorial for you guys because I love you guys. Okay, so time to do 2 more. Okay. So we're just going to go all the way around. I'm almost done with this row, but we're going to go ahead and continue, guys. Remember, 5 double crochets, and then you do your increase. And when I get back, we'll be done with this final increase row, and we'll have 56 stitches. So go ahead and finish up, guys, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, so I'm back, and I have my crown done. This is what you call a crown. A crown is usually all of your increase rows. Once you're done increasing, you'll begin to do your sides. And so with my hat, my diameter of my crown is about, let's see, almost 6 inches, about maybe 5 3/4 or so. And so I know this is probably about a kid-sized hat. Maybe my 6-year-old can probably fit it, or maybe my daughter, she has a smaller head, she might be able to fit it, I don't know. So I'm not exactly sure, because even in the picture, there's adults that are wearing this hat. So if you have a smaller head and you don't have lots of hair, like me, then you probably can wear it. So now we're going to be doing our side rows. There's no increasing, so yay for us. All we have to do is chain 3, and then we just have to double crochet in each stitch around. And it sounds really simple, but guys, it can be a little crazy because sometimes I skip stitches and then I end up with some crazy stuff. So again, let's go ahead and chain 3. Let's get started with row 6. 1, 2, and 3. So we're just going to double crochet in each stitch across. or around. Let me say around, because we're going around and around. And we're not going back and forth. We're going around. So why would I say that? Anyways. Yes, I'm in the bathroom talking to myself. But I'm not really talking to myself, because guess who I'm talking to? I'm talking to you all. Yep. Yep. This is what happens when you're left alone. Don't pay attention to me, guys. I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm trying to make this tutorial a little bit more fun, not just boring. Hearing me talk, I know hearing me talk can be a little boring, but just know, guys, I don't want you to be crocheting alone, and I don't want you to be bored while you crochet, even though you may be watching TV while you crochet. Which that's my favorite thing to do, is watch TV while I crochet. I like to have perfectly quiet when I crochet. I don't know why. Like, no one can talk to me while I crochet. Like, everybody's like, I don't like when you crochet, because I can't talk to you. It's like I'm counting most of the time. I'm trying to make sure my stitch count is right. I'm trying to, concentrate here. I don't need any talking right now. I don't know if you're the same way, but do you like to have people talking to you while you crochet? Or do you like to have quiet time? But even though TV, I guess, isn't considered quiet time, but I don't know. I guess it's not, you're listening to the TV. You're not actually having this full engaged conversation with your husband or your kids, or basically asking you to do something for them, or you're in the middle of working on a project, or, getting an order done. But anyways. So I'm going to do row 6 with you guys, and then your guys are going to be on your own for row 7 through 14, not because I don't want to hang out with you guys, but just because it's almost time for me to hit the road. And I want to go ahead and edit this video for you guys and get it uploaded, so that way by the time I get home, you'll have it. And then I can work on some other stuff that I have going on, because I have a giveaway video to make up and I still haven't made it up yet. And I have to get some things done from the Friday. I have an unboxing video, because I haven't, the things that I want to unbox, I want to see if you guys want any of it. And I just submitted my testing for the day, which I'm happy about. I have one more test to submit, which I'm a little upset because I could not find the yarn for it. And I'm going to have to search everywhere for this yarn. So we should have 56 stitches after we're done with this, guys. We should have 56 stitches. All right? So I'm going to finish up this row 6, and we're going to slip stitch right there at the top again. And now we have 6 rows, or 6 rounds. All right, so this is the top of our hat. And I remember the first time I ever did a hat, guys. The first time I ever did a hat, I took it down 10 times. Okay, I took it down 10 times, and it did not look right. It was looking like this, and I said, this is not what a hat looks like. I'm doing something wrong. Something's going on here. I do not know what to do. The measurements aren't coming the right way that the pattern says. This is all wrong. I took it down to the yarn was mangled. The yarn was so thin it didn't even look right. And my husband said, keep going, don't stop. So I ended up keeping going, guys, and then it turned into a hat. So again, for those who are looking at your hat and it looks a little weird, it may not lay flat like some people say, oh, your hat should lay flat for so long. My hats don't usually lay flat. Like the second row usually curves for me. I don't know why. Maybe I crochet too tight. Who knows? But they always fit right. So just keep going. My advice to you guys is to keep going. So let's keep going. Let's go ahead and finish up to rows 14. And I'll be back after I get done with row 14, or right before row 14 is over. And let's see what you guys have. If it looks like what mine looks like, let's see if we're on a similar row, guys. And then after that, we'll talk about another pattern to go over next week. Again, I thank you for watching this video. I'm not done yet, but let's keep working, guys. Let's get down to row 14, guys. Remember, you're just chaining 3 and you're going to double crochet in each stitch around. All right, guys. Alrighty, guys. So I'm back. I got home safely. I just want to share with you what I got. I'm at 14 rows, and then this is my length. I don't know if you're at the same length that I have, guys, but you may be. I'm about 6.5 or so. Looks about 6.5, I should say. Or a little bit more maybe, but if you're like me, you may do a couple rows of single crochet. When I do my hats, I always like to end with a little bit of a trim of single crochet. Now, you can do multiple rows of that. You can do one, you know, you can do whatever you want. But I have to at least do one. And when you do that, guys, if you want to do that with me, it kind of gives a finished look. So I usually go right in that same chain 3, because remember, that's a stitch. And we're just going to single crochet all the way around, guys, if you want to do that. Now, this hat, guys, I don't know if your head is this small. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Red Heart. This is not my head size at all. I know this is definitely for a kid. And what I like about it, though, this definitely can be used for the Hat Not Hate campaign for kids. And then, because it says it's from, the Hat Not Hate campaign is from sizes 16 diameter. And so that's probably like elementary size, you know, anywhere from like kindergarten and up. Kindergarten through high school age. So basically that's what we're doing. And then this size right here, I would say this is basically, it gives me the feel of maybe anywhere from the ages 3 to 5. So I would say it's around that size. If you have a 3 to 5 year old at home, maybe you can try it on them. But I believe this is around the size for a 3 to 5 year old, unless your head is really small, because it could be. You know. But yes, this is just a smaller hat, guys. If you want to make a bigger hat, let me know. Or if you want to look at a different pattern and just try out a different pattern, you're more than welcome, now that you know the basic of it. The basic of it. Now that you know the basis of how to make this pattern, how to read it, you can go on and find a basic pattern crochet hat. And I would say look up adult hat, because I really didn't look up the size for this hat. I just saw like a really simple hat, and I figured it would be something fun to make, something to show us, so we can dissect this pattern and read it. So it's not really, like I said before, it's not really about reading, making the actual hat. It was really about reading the pattern. So I hope you all understood that a little bit. I hope reading that pattern, you followed along with me a little bit. Next time I'll probably try to get a pattern. If you got whatever pattern you want to do, let me know. Let's make sure it's free though, because I don't want to get into any trouble. But let me know what pattern you like to do, and then I'll print it out, because that's what my goal was to do today, was to print it out. And then my time went crazy and I had all this stuff to do, but I wanted to get that done for you guys. Sorry for the background. I forgot to push pause on my TV. But yes, I'm going to print out the pattern, and then after I print it out, we can just like go through row by row and look at it. So again, thank you so much for spending this time with me, guys. It was really fun working on this hat, and also dissecting this pattern. So I'm coming to the end, everybody. Sorry, my yarn is like tangled up everywhere. But yes, I'm coming to the end, and I'm at the last stitch. And so I'm just going to slip stitch in that last one. Again, if you want to make another row of that slip stitch, you can. Another row of single crochet, you can. But I think I'm just going to finish here. And I think this is going to be perfect for like an elementary kid, maybe a kindergartner. Oh, sorry guys, I'm going to break this. Oh gosh. Yeah, if you can, please keep scissors on hand. Breaking yarn is the worst. I do not like doing it. I do not recommend doing it. But I just wanted to finish it for you guys on camera. So I've snipped my end, and I've fastened it off, and I pulled my end tightly. So now all I have to do now is just weave in my end. I'll just like weave it in here somewhere and kind of hide it. So we are all done, guys. We have finished our Go Spirit hat by Red Heart by Eddie Ekman. And again, guys, thank you for watching this tutorial. Let me know what you want to do next. Next week we can plan something else. We can go through another pattern. If there's a pattern that you've looked at and it's kind of stumping you a little bit, and you're not understanding it, you're not getting the count that you need, or whatever else, please let me know. We can do this every week. It can be something we do and we can work on. Again, I have a live video coming Thursday. It's going to be about either 6:30 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Eastern. So be ready for that, guys. Giveaways coming soon. Unboxings coming soon. Thanks for taking your time out with me. And until next time, thanks for watching. Love ya.